Alright, so there is one more feature I would like to cover, and that is showing some kind of a loading indicator when you go to a new screen. So for example, if you go to account screen, the profile screen from here, or either by clicking here, you see that that's pretty instant. However, yeah, it's very fast, but there will always be some milliseconds before the before you receive the data from the backend for all these links. There will always be those milliseconds. So during that screen transition, that time when you go from one to the other, you can show some kind of a loading indicator, and that's going to be a a cool experience for the user. So I'm going to show that how you can do that nice and easy, and we're going to do that in the profile screen. All right, so profile screen here. So let me add one more state for loading. Const loading set loading, and by default this time we're going to use it true. So usually we do it false, but I'm going to leave it true because when anyone goes to that profile screen, first thing I want to show is this loading indicator, and then as soon as we receive the user profile, then I will set it to false. All right, so the very first thing, they will be loading, and then once we receive the data, we will show the data. Okay, so that means so use effect, we execute this function, right? So fetch user profile. So let's go to that function. Actually it's here. So here you can see we receive the data, we set the profile, we set the links, and then only then we can set loading to false, because by default it will be true. Once we receive that, we set it to false. Now let me comment this out for now, just so that we can see the loading. So so that's our return. Now before that, we can check for loading. So if loading, if that is true, we can return a view, and for the moment let me just write text loading. I'm going to actually use the loading indicator, and for that I'm going to just use a GIF image that will show nice and loading. But for the moment, let's just try with text. So if you go to profile screen, either from here you can see loading, or you can go from here. Sorry, you can go from here. Oh, not that one, sorry, the links. We have loading. Padding top, let me just give 100 for now. Okay, so we saw loading. Now let me uncomment that one. Okay, so you might see loading for very brief, maybe few milliseconds. Let me just take a close look. It's really hard to see, but okay, it's really hard, but if you want, you can even delay by a second. Set timeout. Set timeout takes a function, so let's use a function that will set the loading to false, but it will delay by 1 second. Okay, now let's try. Let's click here. You show the loading for a second, and then you show the profile. Same here. The links, show the loading for a second, and then you show the profile. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now the next thing you want to do is, instead of showing this text, let's display the image. Okay, so let me import image component from React Native. Okay, it's already there. So let me remove this text and use image. Now image, first let's go and find the image. So I'm going to use just find loading GIF. I'm going to search for that. So there are a lot of cool GIFs you can find. I like this one really. It's really cool, you can see. So I'm going to use this one. Right, so let me right click, save image as. So go to the project, client assets, and let me just call it loading.gif. And if you're familiar with Adobe After Effects, then you can generate really cool After Effects, some kind of animated videos, and you can use them as well. The imagination is the limit, but we're just going to use this for loading. For loading purpose, it's just nice and easy. So here we have, let's double check. So we got the loading GIF. All right. So let's display that one. So image, the source we're going to use is we require. So we go one step up, get inside assets, loading.gif, and we need to make sure to give the height. So style height we give 100, and then width also we give 100. Require none of these files exist. So from here we go one step up, get inside assets, loading.gif. Sorry, it should be GIF, not Git. Okay, that's nice. So we have that loading GIF. Okay, we just have to center it on the page. And I also noticed the background is not actually white, it's kind of a grayish color. So this one has the white background, so maybe we can give the background white as well. Let me just go on top. Let me remove this code. Let me just comment this out for now so that we can see the loading, and while we see that, we can just easily work on how to position this one. And once we position it, and then we can just uncomment this comment. So if it is loading, we have the view. Let's give some styling to this one. I want to center it, so align item center. All right, that's centered. Padding bottom, bit of a padding on the bottom, 20. Okay, so forgot the comma. All right, so padding bottom, background color. Background color, let's give white, so that's FFF. Height 100%. Okay. So we have the white background. Now we just need to justify this. Justify content center. Beautiful. That's nice. I think we don't need this padding bottom. Okay. So this way we can show this nice loading. status. Now let me just uncomment that. Okay, so whenever anyone wants to check out the user profile, they can see that with a bit of a loading happening. Awesome.